Austin, why don't you use your own money for flips? And why do you use private money to fund those flips instead of your own cash? And honestly, this is something that I asked myself at the very beginning of my career, and I asked my mentor the same question because it didn't make sense to me. Like, why would you pay somebody else if you don't have to pay somebody else? But once it was broken down to me the way that I'm gonna break it down to you here today, it made 100% sense. And ever since then, I've never used my own money on my deals. So in this video, I'm gonna tell you exactly what he told me. And if you're new to my channel, my name's Austin Rutherford. I was born and raised in Columbus, Ohio, live in South Florida now, flipped and wholesaled hundreds of houses, own almost $15 million in rental properties. And if you're looking to learn the real estate game, go to theaustinrutherford.com. So if you've gone through any of my other channels or any of my social media platforms, I preach all the time on how you should use other people's money, private money lenders, to fund all your deals. And if you're like myself, you really don't understand why you should do that if you have the cash today, because why would you pay somebody else interest or profits when you didn't have to if you had the money currently? But if you're at the beginning of your career, you still need to use private money lenders. But once you make money, this is the question: why continue to use other people's money? So to put things into perspective, I'm doing a larger flip right now. We borrowed about $600,000 to fund this deal, and we're paying 12% interest. 12% interest on $600,000 is $72,000 per year just in interest. So if this project takes us 6 months longer to do than we had planned for, then that's $36,000 that we lose. Well, what if the entire project takes a year? That's $72,000 in potential profit that we could have made that we're now paying our lender instead. So as you can see, these interests to lenders can add up very, very quickly. Every year I pay hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars in interest to these private money lenders. Like, I don't know about you, but I'd like to add, $300,000 in net profit to the bottom line for me. That'd be amazing. That'd be a lot of money saved. I could do a lot of things: buy a house, buy a car, take a vacation, buy my wife something, whatever it is. Like, I could do a lot of things with that money. But for me, I happily pay my private money lenders that money. Why? Here we go. And it's honestly two things. It's OPM and OPT, other people's money and other people's time. So I'm gonna give you a breakdown here. Let's say you use all your own money and you do all the work yourself. So you don't pay any interest to a private money lender, and you don't pay any labor costs to any contractor because you're able to do all the work yourself, right? So how long would it take you to buy, renovate, and sell a house? Let's say maybe 6 months, right? So you do 2 per year because it takes you 6 months. So 6 months and 6 months, that's 2 houses in a year. And instead of making, let's say, $30,000 in profit, you make $75,000 in profit because you save all your interest that you would have to pay that private money lender, and you save all the labor that you would have to pay your contractors if you hired somebody out. So you make 75 grand instead of 30 grand because you have a whole bunch of savings on this money. So in a year, you make $150,000 in a year. Listen, at the end of the day, $150,000 is great money, right? That's what a lot of people strive for at the beginning of their career. But wait till you see this example. Then compare it to, let's say you used all other people's money and all other people's time. So you use private money lenders to fund all of your deals, and you hired contractors to do all the work on your houses. So how many houses do you think you can flip in a year at this point? The answer truly isn't limited, because if you don't have any time and any money invested into these things, you can do as many as you want. But for this example, let's say you do 2 per quarter. So 2 per quarter is 8 houses a year. So you can do 8 house flips a year instead of 2 house flips a year. But on these 8, you only make $30,000 per house instead of $75,000 per house. So on the 8 houses at 30 grand profit per house is $240,000 in profit per year. So if you compare the two, you make $150,000 with all your time invested and all your money invested, or you make $240,000 with none of your money invested and none of your time invested. So think about that. You make 30 to 40% more with less headaches, less risks, and less of your time invested. Listen, I get why people do use their own money, because it's no risk. You don't have to pay anybody off. It's no risk. Like, you're 100% vested into it. I get it. But think about this. If you lose, or you get stuck in a bad deal and maybe you break even on it on accident, or maybe even lose a little bit of money, like, you lose, you carry 100% of the risk because it's your money. And by the way, there's an opportunity cost to that money as well. Like the example I just gave you, like, let's say you buy a deal, you think you're gonna make 75 grand, and you do the deal and you make 0 because there's a lot of unforeseen issues. That year, you only make $75,000 in profit instead of 150. So you can only do that one deal. I've done bad deals. I've messed up. I've lost money, I've broken even on deals, but the cool thing is, whenever I did that, I had a ton of other deals going on using other people's money and other people's time where I was able to make money. So this one loss didn't kill me, right? Let's say you do 2 bad deals in 1 year and you make $0 because you bought 2 bad deals. You thought you had no risk. You thought you were smart, but now you make $0 compared to using other people's money and other people's time. And another opportunity cost. What if I told you that you were able to make 30% to 10,000% per year on your own money? So if you're to use your money on your flips, you save what, 10, 12% in interest because you would not have to pay a private money lender that, but you could take that same money and go out and earn 30%, 100%, 500%, 1,000% per year. So you're saving 10%, but you're missing out on 30%. So you have an opportunity cost of 20% that you're missing out on. So you gotta understand, like, using your money is not always the best idea here. To this day, even though I have plenty of money to fund my real estate deals, I still do not use my money on my deals because I understand the concept of opportunity cost. If an opportunity of a lifetime crosses my table right now, I have the money to be able to invest into that. It's not tied up in a deal. I'm not waiting for a deal to sell. I have cash sitting in the bank or very liquid assets that I could sell to move money to get whatever opportunity it is to invest into that. And again, I've been a part of 600% returns in 6 months. That's a 1,200% return in a year compared to 10%, maybe 12% that we're talking about. The opportunity cost is endless here. So even me today, I still use other people's money because I want to be able to leverage time and money and have the opportunity to invest into other things as those opportunities come my way. And listen, I said it's OPM and OPE, other people's money and other people's time. So if I'm using other people's time to build my businesses, that allows me to go out and build entirely new businesses. I can build an entirely new stream of income rather than be the one swinging the hammer on my jobs. And some of the investments that I was discussing, let's talk about them, right? You can lend money, short-term money, and make 30, 40, 50, 60, 70% on your money. You can invest in crypto, which is very volatile, I get it, but you can make 0%, or you can make 100 or 1,000%. You can invest in VC opportunities, so startup capital for companies. Again, like, that's bang or bust. You can lose it, or you can make 100x your money sometimes. But we're talking about saving $30,000 in interest payments on a house. Again, like, there's different risk tolerances here, but for me, I do not want to miss out on the big opportunities by having my money tied up in real estate deals. I'm using other people's money 100% of the time and other people's time, contractors, to do the work because I'm not going to the house and I'm not swinging a hammer. So like I said, when I first got into the business, I asked myself the same thing. Like, why would I pay somebody else and why would I hire somebody else? But when it's broken down like that and you can see the opportunity and the additional money that you can make and the opportunity cost that you lose out on by using your money, you can understand why, for me, I never use my money anymore. So comment below, let me know what your thoughts are on this strategy of never using your money and never using your time. While you're down there, make sure you smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It'd be greatly appreciated. It helps me out tremendously. Hit the subscribe and notification bell so you can get all this content going forward. As always, appreciate you being here. See you on the next one.